You've just heard a clip there from APG Films, and that was the audio from the trailer of their latest film, Dandilicious. And writer, director, and star of that film, Andrew Games, joins me now. Andrew, welcome to the Upload Show.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm really happy to be here, to be joined with you.
No, made up. It's our pleasure to have you on with us. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm an actor and an award-winning filmmaker. I've been in the industry for about 13 years now, and I started off with theatre. And as the years went by, my curiosity with film started to grow. So I joined on-screen classes for film, and what I used to do outside of the classes, I used to invest in equipment, try and get used to being in front of a camera. And as I started to get in front of the camera and try and get used to seeing myself, I used to learn all the techniques, and I started to experiment with filmmaking, made many short films, won an award for the last short film I made, The Diary of an Aryan Girl. And then that gave me the confidence to say, right, I think the next leap is to feature film.
And did you find it hard, like the transition between on screenwriting and theatre? Was it a big transition?
It is a big transition because it is, on the contrary to the style of Dandilicious, on-screen acting is a lot more subtle than theatre acting. It's a lot more condensed, it's a lot more contained. Your eyes tell the story more than your voice sometimes. And that was difficult to try and balance when in the theatre you have to shout to the back seats,
Yeah, I'm with you.
whereas you don't have to with this. So, with the style of Dandilicious being a stylized, very abstract, larger than life presentation, we could be playful. We didn't have to play by the rules as such, but in a general sense, it was a very hard transition. But once you get comfortable, it just becomes second nature to you.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit about Dandilicious. What's it all about?
So Dandilicious is a stylized neo-Western about a teddy boy in 1959, and he's the self-proclaimed king of the Teds. But when he's challenged, can he really live up to that mantelpiece that he claims to be? So I've always been fascinated by history. The last film I made, the one that won the award for at first, was about a German couple during the Second World War. So my interest with history came to me again. And one thing that always fascinated me was the teddy boy subculture. So I really wanted to tell this story about almost like the lone wolf, the one-man gang. He doesn't rely on anyone. And, to have that story told in a presentation that matches the attitude to how that original incarnation would have been back in the 50s. It was all about rock and roll.
Yeah.
It was about juvenile delinquency. It was about being naughty, So I kind of wanted to just throw it in people's faces. So I feel like I've delivered on that.
Yeah, I love the Teddy Boy era. Do we get to see, like you mentioned there, the 50s and the rock and roll? Do we get to see, the whole era in the film?
You do. It was very hard, actually, to try and replicate that era on a very tight budget. It was self-financed, with the exception of a Kickstarter campaign to help assist us with the things that were a little bit out of our reach. So, we made an effort to make sure that there was enough authenticity, regardless of it being a tight budget. There's plenty of things in there. The aesthetics are there. We couldn't get the original music for obvious reasons, because just the budget wouldn't allow it.
But we had, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. So we've had many artists, most of them Liverpool-based artists, the likes of Reed Anderson, Furious, which are a real teddy boy band, Crank Williams. They've replicated that era of music, but put their own little spin on it as well. It's a little bit grittier, a little bit more raw, to kind of complement the style of the film. So I think once you're in there, you believe and you're invested that this is 1959 in the fictional town of Listminster, but you believe that this is the era.
Yeah. So, pardon me. So Listminster is the fictitious town down in East London. However, was this filmed here in Merseyside?
It was filmed in Merseyside. It was filmed in the Wirral. It was filmed in Liverpool, North Wales. A lot of people ask how come it's not a Scouse piece, considering it's a Liverpudlian cast, a Liverpudlian crew, Liverpudlian locations, but it's got nothing to do with Liverpool. And I think the reason for that really is because I think we all wanted a challenge. We didn't want to be comfortable. We wanted to push ourselves out of our comfort zone. And doing a Cockney piece, let alone an accent we've never done before, but doing Cockney, early to mid-century Cockney, it's frightening, but in my opinion, more the reason to do it. Because I think if you're out of your comfort zone and you're challenged, it brings the best out of you. You're sharp.
Yeah, definitely.
You're extra prepared.
And it's certainly paying off.
No, thank you. No, I'm glad that you that you said that, because I think a lot of the actors who obviously were a little bit intimidated by it, this approach, did have cold feet. And I was like, trust me, it'll be worth it. And it has paid off. A lot of people. There's reviews I've read where critics have been really surprised that we're not at all from, down south. We're actually northerners portraying these characters, and they've really complimented the dedication to deliver that as well. So it's all worked out really well.
Yeah, definitely. And you've been it's been doing well at the film festivals as well. Tell me more about that.
Oh yeah, so we were making the film during the pandemic, and well, a little bit before the pandemic, and then the pandemic struck. We were 3/4 into making the film, and the momentum did start to die down. We had a really big buzz when the first trailer came out in 2019 with the Kickstarter campaign. We had an established audience, and we were confident. Then the pandemic struck. The momentum started to die down. People started to forget about it. We were a bit worried. We were able to finish the film under the rules and regulations of COVID. And around summertime, when we were ready to bring the film out, we wanted to do the film festival circuit. We wanted to see, how far it could go. I personally, I'm not one to sell myself short, but I personally had low expectations. I thought, the buzz had died down. Are people going to care about it? It might have a shelf life, get some good reviews here and there, but, it might get overshadowed by other things going on that have a more kind of prominent entity kind of presence on the film scene. But I've blown myself away, as well as, the cast and crew being blown away, because we're 6 months into our film festival run. We've just recently announced our 10th film festival selection. It's won various awards for Best Feature Film. It's been nominated for Best International Feature in Hollywood as well. It's been all around the world. It's got a multicultural appreciation, and it's fantastic. Actors are getting the recognition that they deserve as well. Individually, award nominations. I've had nomination for Best Actor as well. So we've surprised ourselves, really. It's really stood the test of time.
Yeah.
And it's it just shows that there is life for your project after COVID. You can recapture the public imagination, though it's an independent film. We're starting to get the more mainstream recognition now, such as the BBC, the Radio Times gave us a mention. So it's picking up.
So where can we go and see it? I'm sure everyone's dying to go and see it. Is there any way we can watch it? How do we find it?
So at the moment, it's on a virtual platform film festival called 4 Theatre. So that's number 4 theatre.com. So you can watch that on their platform till the 8th of December. If you can't get a chance to watch it before then, it's going to be at the Liftoff London Film Festival. And for those who are worried about London not being nearby, don't worry about it. It's a virtual film festival as well as a physical one, so you can watch it safe and sound from the comfort of your own home. You can find out links in order to watch the film at Liftoff, as well as 4 Theatre if you've got the time to watch it until the 8th of December by going on the Dandilicious Facebook page. So that's www.facebook.com/Dandilicious movie, and it'll all be right there.
Perfect. And if anyone wants to find out a little bit more about yourself and APG Films, where can they do that?
So you can find out more about me personally. So on Instagram, it's @AndrewGamesOfficial. On Facebook, it's /Andrew Games Official. I've really simplified that. Quite proud of myself there. I didn't realise it until you've asked me. And on YouTube, it's Andrew Games Official as well. You can follow my works, things I've got coming up as well as an actor or as a filmmaker, and say hello. It'd be good to talk to you as well, and support one another in that work.
Sounds good to me. Andrew, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Jade, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.